Hey everybody, welcome to the show, Board Game Reviews. This is a YouTube channel dedicated to the tabletop gaming hobby, and this is a video series for a little bit of fun looking at the game of Too Many Bones. Now if you check out my video series, I have a full playthrough tutorial on everything you ever want to know about Too Many Bones, but I thought it would be a heck of a lot of fun since the newest and possibly the last expansion for Too Many Bones is going to be on Gamefound. Instead of doing 40 days in Daelore, why don't we do 4 days on Gamefound? I'm going to do 4 separate gameplays. Kind of make a little bit of a mini campaign using the components I have for Too Many Bones and do some good, complete, solid playthroughs. Of course, this is just going to be some gameplay for the game itself. If you want to learn how to play the game, get some quick overviews, see a review, or just see some other gameplay for the game, check out the videos in the series. I have a really long playlist that covers tons of things such as the components, the expansions, and everything else you want to know about the game of Too Many Bones. Now, before we go any further, I need to let you know I am not sponsored by, I am not supported by, and I was not asked to do this in any way, shape, or form by Chip Theory Games. I'm not on their Christmas list, and matter of fact, everything you're seeing for this game and all these videos I have planned here, and part of this little 4 days on Gamefound series I decided to do just for fun, all this stuff was purchased with my own money. Chip Theory Games is not a sponsor for this channel. They did not give me any of this stuff. All this I had to pay for myself. Matter of fact, if you want to be perfectly honest, I probably paid a little bit more than all of you did out there because I bought this game at retail, including all the expansions. Now, to be totally transparent, in the past I have asked Chip Theory Games if they would like me to do any video series for the games such as Cloudspire. They were definitely not interested, so again, they are not a sponsor, not affiliated with my channel in any way, shape, or form. But now that we got that whole bunch of intro out of the way, let's get into the fun with a game of Too Many Bones. Now, the way I have this planned is the very first game I'm going to do because I want to show you tons of different variety of gameplay. The very first game I'm going to play is going to be a solo game using just the base set components only, and I'm going to use patches because I just got done with Halloween watching all the Hellraiser movies, and after seeing that great quote with the doctor is in, I was like going, I gotta play Too Many Bones with patches. It just works out perfectly. So what I'm going to do with the very first game is patches is going to go on a great quest to hunt down a mighty creature that has defeated a secretive little robotic steam-powered robot, possibly. If we manage to rescue it, that robot's going to go on our next adventure, and we're going to go through there, and we may end up even sailing down the river Daelore, go into other expansions as we see other more content. But that's enough of the intro. Let's go in and get into the fun with our very first game with patches, solo play, Too Many Bones. If you have any comments or questions, make sure you leave them down in the YouTube comments down below. I will definitely get to them as quickly as I can. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the video series itself, think about supporting the channel over on Patreon. Just $1 over in the tip jar can help me cover my costs and help keep the channel going strong. But if you don't want to put any money towards Patreon, another great way to help support the channel is to like and subscribe or to share these videos. Your likes and subscriptions and your enjoyment of this video series can help the channel keep growing and help to keep the channel growing strong. Just sharing these videos with others, letting them know about the content you're enjoying can help me bring out more content for this channel. For those of you who have never played Too Many Bones before, a quick little overview of basically what we need to do when we start playing every single game. Since I'm playing a pure solo game, and the wonderful thing about Too Many Bones is you can play this game solo. It's not going to be one of those games where it's cooperative, where you're forced to play multiple heroes. You can play with one hero, and it does use a special deck of cards when you do so. And we're going to use that special deck of cards to go ahead and create our adventure deck. I've created our adventure deck. We know the first bad guy, the tyrant we're going to go after is going to be the Tyrant of Nam, and our day counter is going to start at 1. I have a couple extra cards out just in case they may be required due to our adventure cards. Our loot and our trove has been shuffled up. Got all the components out here. The only thing we really need to do when you first start playing the game is we need to figure out if our hero, our plucky little Gearlock's going to start off with any skills at the beginning of the game, because some Gearlocks do actually start with some skills on play. Patches is not one of them. So the next thing I need to figure out is what difficulty level I want to play on. Easy, standard, or hard, or as the game likes to call it, adventurer, heroic, or legendary difficulty. Legendary is basically you don't get any bonuses at the beginning of the game. Heroic is the average difficulty level, the way I actually enjoy playing the game the most, and then the adventure level gives you lots of boosts and lots of bonuses, and actually makes it a lot easier on you when you actually die. We're going to play every one of these games in this 4-game campaign as the heroic level. And when you start with the heroic level, there's 2 things that we need to do at the very start of the game. First thing we need to do is we need to start with 1 extra hit point, because that's one of the bonuses of starting at the heroic difficulty level. Next thing we're going to do is we are going to gain 1 free skill up. Now there's a couple different options we do for the skill up. We can take a skill up to one of our attributes, or we can take a skill up to actually gain one of our skills. Now, every one of our gear locks plays differently. They have bonuses, they have penalties, they have different play styles. They're all going to do things just a little bit differently. Now, since I'm showing you this very first game in this series, playing the game with the very basic components, with the standard game itself, that means my first 3 days of adventures are going to be unknown. Every time you play the game without any expansions, your first 3 days of adventure are the exact same 3 cards in the exact same order every single time. So it basically means that the first thing I'm going to do before I get anything, my first card is going to allow me to gain a couple skills, or maybe 1 skill and a starting loot card. So those are going to be my first decisions. So the very first skill I'm going to gain at the start of the game is not quite as important, but basically when we're playing with patches, we need to make 2 decisions. Do we want to play patches a little more as a survivalist, able to keep himself going and then allowed to survive through the fatigue rounds, and actually use the fatigue ability of the game to help him win the encounters? Or to go and play more of a little bit aggressive play style, use skills such as poise and help us start taking out these baddies a lot quicker, and being a little more of an offensive kind of medic, or, you know, the doctor is finally in kind of hero here. So I'm going to make this quite easy, and the way I'm going to start out patches is I'm actually going to take patches, and the very first thing is I'm going to take the nutrients die. Now the reason why I'm going to take the nutrients die is it does a couple things. One of the good things, it allows me to heal, but the really, really great thing is if I can roll this die really, really well and get some good rolls off of it, I can start getting some nice, really, really cool consumables. And I do have 3 consumables that can be really darn awesome, but the best consumable that I really like is my poison injection. If I get my poison injection from consumables, I can actually do a heck of a lot of stuff and start taking out a lot of bad guys. It's going to make some of the encounters a heck of a lot easier, especially the encounter with Nam himself. Now, I'm not going to give away a lot of spoilers, but there's going to be spoilers here because Nam has a certain play style. Nam has super thick skin. He's really hard to hurt. So you either have pretty much 2 methods you have to go through to take out Nam in this game. You either have to build up a lot of attack, which can be really challenging for heroes such as Patches, not so hard such as from the Berserker or somebody else like that who can do it a little bit easier, but for Patches, it's a little bit challenging. So we're probably going to have to rely on a lot more of our abilities such as our poise and everything else to take Nam out. So we're basically building up, knowing that we're playing to get a whole bunch of poison and get some defense so we can survive his hits, which can help a little bit, but remember he does do true damage, which makes him a little bit more challenging. So I've decided that my very first upgrade I'm going to get is I am going to get the nutrients die. Go and put my plucky little Gearlocks adventuring guide off to the side here. And now we get to go ahead and start our very first day on day number 1. So we start with 6 hit points. Let's go ahead and grab 6 of our Gearlock chips, and we have exactly 7. So let's put 1 back. And we're now ready to start day number 1 with a very dramatic reading. Yeah, we know I don't do dramatic reading, but let's go and have fun with the adventure. Trolls as a species are not so smart. Nam, the troll chieftain of the Shellface region, is no exception. However, no one has ever felt the need to point that out to Nam, due to obvious reasons like size differentials and thunderclubs. It could also be because Nam loves to imprison those that anger him and then face off against his prey in a caged battle, one by one. Day 1 of our adventure. Leaving Obender. Only 12 hours till dawn, and the send-off ceremony that will no doubt change the lives of every remaining Gearlock, and likely every life in Daelore. Weapons and supplies are ready to go, but the night is young and adrenaline fills the veins. It's clear no sleep will be had tonight. There's sure to be some shady peddlers in dark alleys ready to deal with loot. Then again, some last-minute training could pay a nice dividend by morning. So what to do? What to do? Now we get to make a choice based on the adventure card and the encounters and what it says exactly on the back of the card itself. Now the very first card is not going to create a battle. We see that by the symbols right here signifying that this is not going to be battled by either one of our decisions. But we have to make one of the 2 choices. Choice number 1, squeeze in some last-minute self-improvement, gain 2 training points. Or shake down a shady peddler, gain a training point. Each Gearlock and party may draw 2 loot and choose 1 to keep. Now, normally when I play solo, I like to get a lot of skill points because a lot of skill points can kind of help me kind of know what I'm doing here. I can kind of predict what's going to happen. Loot can always be fun, but loot is a little bit random. And you may get good loot, you may get loot that makes you go, yeah, this is not going to help me at all. But loot is fun, loot adds a little bit of variety, and loot adds excitement, and this video is all about excitement, so I think we're going to take 1 skill up and we're going to take 1 loot card. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to gain our skill up for gaining the skill up, because I am definitely going to choose a shakedown, a shady peddler option. The first thing that we're going to do is a skill up. Now, I'm kind of a toss-up here. I'm thinking either between toxins or gaining a point of dexterity. I'm thinking a point of dexterity because I know the next card is going to be a battle card, and it would be nice to be able to roll 1 attack, 1 defense, and 1 of my skill dice, and or be able to move around the map a little bit, at least moving 1 space, which can be really helpful, especially if I start with the first fight with a lot of range baddies. It can be a little bit troublesome, and it can definitely happen sometimes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take 1 point of skill up, and I'm going to take that in dexterity. Now again, I would love to get toxins or maybe a med kit so I can start working towards bone saw, because bone saw is also really, really good. But again, I think I made my choice here, so let's go in and find out what kind of loot we're going to get. So I need to look at my Gearlark party here, and I may draw 2 loot cards, and I'll draw 2 loot cards here really quick. And the first loot card we are going to get is the Troll Brew. Single use, outside of battle, permanently increase your health stat die by 1. At the start of your next battle, reduce your current hit points by 3. Well, that's always kind of a nice and awesome loot to have. The only negative about this is I'm going to start off the next fight with 3 hit points. Totally worth it. Actually, I start the next fight with 4 hit points because it's going to raise my health up. So that's actually not that bad. I like that. Next one is going to be the reinforced buckler. Now, here's the trick here. Both of these are really, really awesome. The reinforced buckler is effectively 1 free defense die every single turn. The only trick is it's heavy, so it's going to take 3 of my 4 loot slots. That Troll Brew is very, very awesome though, but the ability to always have 1 extra defense die that is not going to be tied up by dexterity, it's really hard to ignore that. That's actually super duper awesome, and I think, while I hate to lose the Troll Brew, because Troll Brew it's great. It's a free upgrade of health that put me at 7 hit points. Oh, and Nom does true damage, so he would ignore the buckler. So when I get to the final fight versus Nom, the buckler is going to be pretty much mostly useless because he does have an ability to do true damage. He does regular hits too, but he mostly does a lot of true damage. That's where he's kind of nasty, is with his true damage. This is going to be one of the toughest decisions I've made, and the game has just begun. We are going to keep the reinforced buckler. I am hoping that this is going to be the right decision. I really, really do. But this is going to be basically the end of our first day. That is going to be the end of our first adventure. So let's go ahead and go to our recovery phase. So for the recovery phase, the first thing we could do is we get the chance to do some lockpicking, get some chance to do some loot trading. Definitely not doing loot trading because the reinforced buckler is super duper awesome. Matter of fact, just to make sure I don't forget, because sometimes I do, going to add a defense die right on it right now so I don't forget. It's a nice little super easy little reminder here. And then the only thing left to do is decide which one of the 3 actions I want to choose from between healing and scouting ahead, and also, well, just doing some good things here. We're not hurt, so let's just go ahead and do some scouting ahead. So let's roll the 6-sider, and we will get, we're starting out the rolls of the dice so darn awesome here. Let's see which kind of wonderful creature is going to be starting in the baddie queue for the next day. And we will see that it is an orc peon who has the ability of Rage level 1. Now the ability of Rage 1 basically says that if this creature is not at full life, it does 1 extra attack, at least in this case because it's Rage 1. So basically that means he's going to be rolling 2 attack dice if he's not at full life. That's actually not that bad. I can actually handle that. I am A-okay with him being on top of the baddie queue. So let's go ahead and toss him on top of the baddie queue, because that's going to be a pretty darn simple fight. He only has 3 hit points, 3 initiative, and that's the worst initiative we can ever get. So I think we are going to be A-okay here as Patches. So that is going to be the end of the first round. Let's go ahead and start our new day, and we'll place this card underneath Nom 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 right here. Let's go ahead and start day number 2. Day number 2 is going to start with advancing the day counter to day number 2, and then we will start with our second encounter card, which is always the same encounter card because we're playing with the base set, and this is going to be special encounter day number 2, hardly out of the gate. 15 steps into the journey, 15 whole steps, and already a Gearlark boot is struck through by an arrow. Luckily, no toes were killed, teeth are clenched, and a painful tug is made while looking around in embarrassment. Yow! Now, sufficiently ticked, it's time to return the favor to the ominous figures at the edge of the woods. A commotion breaks out on top of the city wall, interrupting all thoughts. Guards have now spotted the brazen intruders and are notching their arrows. Their help is at the ready. Like it or not, this adventure is underway. So now we're going to go to our decision. And what do we want to do? What do we want to do indeed? Choice number 1 is hail the guards for help. Baddie Q will be baddie points, and then at the start of each round, arrows from the wall deal 1 true damage to each baddie. Way too easy. Let's go for the fun. Choice number 2, it's time to show Obendar that gear locks are made of. I'm sorry, what gear locks are made of. With Obendar watching, you feel an extra shot of adrenaline as you prepare for an unassisted battle. Baddie Q equals baddie points. After either choice, if the battle is lost, place this encounter back on top of your encounter deck. Because guess what? You have not made it out of the doors, made out past the front walls. Can't go anywhere until we beat this encounter. So let's go ahead and beat this encounter with option number 2. It's time to show Obendar what gear locks are made of. So the first thing we need to do is we need to make our baddie queue. We know the first baddie, of course, is going to be the orc peon, but the next baddie is going to be an unknown to us. So that'll be our very first surprise. Let's go ahead and take care of the orc peon first. He will take the lane 1 chip. His initiative is going to be set to initiative number 3, and he's going to start with 3 hit points. Let's go and add the 3 hit points underneath him. He is a melee baddie, and let's go ahead and stick him on lane number 1 to go ahead and start the fun right here. Now we get our very first surprise, which is going to be this baddie right here, which is going to be a orc scout, which has the ability of raiding. Now the ability rating says this unit gains 1 extra attack die for every additional orc type baddie on the battle mat. Well, that's going to be an orc, and I see another orc, so he is going to get 2 attack dice. So basically I'm looking at 2 guys who get extra 2 points of attack versus my 6 hit points. Well, luckily I have defense dice, and luckily I have the reinforced buckler, so I'm not looking too scared right now, except for the fact that orc scouts are ranged. That should make him nice and extra exciting, and not only that, he has initiative value of 4, which means that unless I roll really high on my initiative dice, I'm probably not going to go before he gets to attack. I mean, he's going to roll 2 attack dice, and I'm probably going to take anywhere from 0 to 4 points of damage. That should be extra, extra fun. Oh well, we're a gear lock. We can handle it. 3 defense, or 3 hit points for this baddie. Now let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do and what our initiative is going to be for this round. So let's go ahead and figure out what our initiative is going to be for Patches. Now again, I'm looking for a 4 because we get to break ties in our favor, and we're not going to get a 4. It's really hard for Patches to get a 4 anyways. His initiative die can only do a 3 or a 4, and only 2 of the sides actually list a 4 on it. So it doesn't mean that the raiding orc is going to go first. Let's go ahead and figure out where we want to place ourselves on our mat right here. Now remember, Patches is a melee gear lock, so he has to go on one of these 4 spaces right here, which isn't too terrible. But this also means that, initial-wise, we're going to get hit first. Well, it could be worse. And remember, we're a doctor. We can always make it better. So first things first, we are going to activate the raiding orc right here, which means we'll activate his initiative die. And remember, the orc scout does have raiding. That means he's going to roll 2 attack dice versus Patches right here. Let's go and roll the 2 attack dice and see what's going to happen to poor little Patches. And we'll roll 2 points of damage. So there is 2 points of damage to poor little Patches. And that will be it. Oops, let's not make that mistake. I think those are buff hit points. Those will go right there. Make my life super easy. And that'll be it for the raiding orc's turn. Now we go to Patches' turn himself. Now Patches has a couple different options. The one great thing is we have the reinforced buckler. We know we have at least 1 attack die. We know that we still have 2 points of dex to spend. Let's go ahead and spend 1 of them on defense, and then the other one we will spend on movement. So remember, this one's coming from this, and we have a total of 3 dex, so let's go and spend 1 of our dex points to go ahead and move right here. Now I know I want to take out that raiding orc scout as quick as possible, but I also would like to get this die rolled as quick as possible. It's not going to happen on the first round. Let's see what's going to happen for Patches. Well, that's a great start to how the dice are going to treat me today. So before we resolve this triple bones, let's make sure I don't forget the fact that Patches is going to feel 1 hit point at the top of his round, and then we are going to lock in our 3 bones. Couple options: I can go for the needle jab and do 2 points of damage to that raiding orc. Or I can do 2 points of damage to that orc peon, which means he's going to start hitting me even harder. Or let's just hope, maybe beyond hope, I could roll 3 more bones. I'm already on a roll. Get it? On a roll. Okay, bad jokes are bad. Done. We are going to go ahead and move over to the turn for the Orc peon. Now he's going to activate for his round 1 action. Now since he has not taken any damage, that does mean he's only going to roll 1 attack die versus us. So let's go and roll that 1 attack die, and we will get 1 point of damage. So let's go ahead and remove that 1 point of damage, stick it back over here, and that is going to be the end of round number 1. We don't have any end of round abilities for any of our Gearlock or for any of our bad guys. So let's go ahead and start round number 2. And round number 2 is going to start with the Raiding Orc Scout. Raiding Orc Scout still gets rolled 2 dice because that other Orc is still in play. Let's see what's going to happen. Well, this is just looking a little bit painful. I've never failed the first encounter before, ever. I guess there's a first time for everything. So that is going to be it for the Raiding Orc's turn. Now we get to go to Patches. Very first thing that Patches is going to do is the start of his turn. He will heal that 1 hit point, and he'll breathe a big, heavy sigh of relief as he hopes things start getting better for him really, really quick. This will be a free die, so we still have 3 decks to go. This will be 1 of the points of dex. This will be 1 of the points of dex. And this will be the 3rd point of dexterity, because remember, we do have that 3 dexterity. Let's go ahead and see what is going to happen. Oops, I forgot to roll this die. Well, let's go ahead and, hey, we got to level up. If we live. So we have 3 bones. Do I really, really want that 3 bones? Well, it'd be level up. I would level up on day number 2. It could be worse, but at least we got 1 defense. And at least I did 1 point of damage. I should have called my target. I failed that, didn't I? I think we all knew that I was going after the Raiding Orc because I kind of emphasized it enough times. So this will be 6 points. Let's go ahead and level up Patches all the way up to level Gearlock +1, which is pretty darn early in the game to do so, but hey, maybe that adds a little bit more to the extra fun here. And maybe this is signs of good things to come. Or maybe this is a sign of a very early defeat. We'll see how things work out very, very quickly as I spend all of those dice. So now this guy gets to go right here, the Orc peon. Remember, he only gets 1 attack die because he has not taken any damage yet. Roll the bones. Or don't. We have taken 1 point of damage. Okay, that is it for this Orc. Let's go ahead and start round 3. Fight! And at the start of round number 3, the Raiding Orc will go. He will roll 2 attack dice. And before he rolls his 2 attack dice, I forgot to use my defense. I will get that hit point back from the Rage 1 Orc peon. Then I'll roll damage for that Raiding Orc. Okay, things are looking a little bit hairy. 1, 2 points of damage. Okay, Patches, you need to do some kind of magic here very, very quickly. You need to live up to your name and start patching yourself really, really quickly. Well, the good news is if I get 2 bones, which I've been rolling a lot of, I can heal myself. Let's go and start Patches' turn. First thing that's going to happen on Patches' turn is, well, we get to heal 1 hit point. Ooh. Ah. Oh. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to declare our target, which is going to be that Orc Scout, with our 1 attack die. We have 2 more points of dexterity. 1 point of that will be a defense die, and then we will have to waste a point of dexterity. Wow. Come on, Patches. 2 points of damage. Take out the Raiding Orc, and... or, you know, don't. 1 bone. 1 defense. And 1 point of damage. They have called this a war of attrition. It is a war of attrition. That is going to be it. Now we get to go to the Orc peon's turn. He gets to roll 1 attack die. Miss, 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 miss. Or don't. Round 4. Could this be the death of a Gearlock? Let us hope not. Orc Scout, it's time to get some dust in your eyes. Not a lot of dust. It's a little bit of dust. You need a lot more dust in your eyes. A lot more dust in your eyes. So that is the Orc Scout's turn. Oh, this is getting kind of grim. At least we're not dead yet. Getting better. We feel happy. I gotta stop before I get a copyright strike on my YouTube account. Okay, so the only thing left that we really can do is we have our 1 attack die, we have our natural defense, and then we have our reinforced buckler. But we're level 2, because we leveled up. Well, that does this. That does this. This does this. I have no choice. I need a needle jab. What a waste of bones. 1, 2, 3 bones gone. We don't needle jab. Normally that does 2 points damage. I'm not going to worry about it. It'll defeat this guy. We'll remove that. He will go to the stack of the dead, and we will remove his initiative die, and now this orc right here gets to go. Luckily, the worst he can do is 1 point of damage to us, which we can survive. So let's go and see if he can not do so. Live! Yes! Our defense is gone. So, round 5. As our plucky little gear-like hero looks in wonder at this rage-filled orc peon and decides, help me, please. And let's go ahead and roll our attack and our defense. So we have 2 defense, thanks to the reinforced buckler. We get 1 attack, and our target is that raged, induced orc peon. I almost don't want to attack him. Oh, I can survive. He actually, oh no, he can't defeat me. So we'll get 2, and a 1 is a 3, and we'll do 1 point of damage. That does mean that he is now going to rage and use 2 attack dice versus us. We're in round 5. I turned that the wrong way. Round 5. So now, beginning or the end of round number 5, the orc peon now gets to roll 2 attack dice. We can live and take 2 points of damage. Let's take it from that one. We will take no damage. We will now start round number 6. Top of the round, everybody takes 1 point of true damage from fatigue. And we can win. I really was doubting for a second there. I honestly was doubting for just a moment. Okay, we will take the bone. Not that it matters. We will take the 1 defense. Again, not that it matters. And then we will do 1 point of damage. And we will defeat this mighty rage-filled orc peon. Because you always feel like a superstar hero whenever you defeat something called a peon. So let's go into this fight. Let's go and reset the turn counter all the way back to round number 1. Our initiative die is going to lead the battle counter, and we will return over here to our Gearlock Guide board just like so. And now we get to claim our reward. Our very first reward we are going to gain is going to be a skill up. Well, we already see how things are going in this game, and while I was thinking about going for toxins, our life has been in peril already. So our skill up will be that first. That'll be our very first skill up. And now I have an option for a second skill up. And now I actually got a couple different things I could do. I could go for fast hands. Fast hands is kind of nice. We know we have 2 defense dice. 2 defense is pretty darn, you would think it's decent, but we see how I've been rolling so far. So I think we are going to go and spend our other skill up right here as doing an attack die. Because we can do it. That'd be a bones. That'd be a failure of our attack die. So, our other skill up, we will just take toxins. I just don't have any other better ideas. I just don't have any better ideas. That's just the best thing to do. So now let's go ahead and get our loot. Now remember, we can only carry 1 loot because we have the reinforced buckler, and our loot will be dum-da-dum, reflex powder. Reroll any 1 die on your turn, including training, lockpicking, and initiative. Well, this is going to be a godsend for me because of the way my dice are going so far. So we have received all of our rewards. That will be 2 progress points towards going out there and finding Nom's hidden secret lair where that Steambot gearlock has been damaged and is hiding out that we're trying to rescue. Remember, we were trying to get to at least 6 progress points before the end of the 8th day. If we do so, we will win, especially if we defeat this horrible, horrible creature, Nom. But now we gotta do the end of the round, the end of phase stuff. So during the recovery phase, we know that we have no trove loot that we can go ahead and hunt down because there are no trove loots that we have. We are not going to trade this in because the way my dice are rolling, I'm thinking we may want to keep that, and I'm probably going to burn it in the next adventure itself. So the next thing we need to do is pick one of the 3 decisions. Do we want to heal? Yes. Or do we want to scout? No. Or do we want to search for better loot? No, because we know the reflex powder is going to save our bacon, because that's just the way we're rolling. So we have 1, let's take back our other 5, and we will do the heal up, healing us back all the way up to 6 full health. That's going to be it for the end of day 1. Now let's go over to day number 3 in our adventures in an effort to hunt down the tyrant Nom himself. Let's go and start day number 3 by figuring out what our next adventure card is going to be. It's going to be crossing the Ciberon. The Ciberon River, a glistening vein of trade running the length of Daelore, playfully beckons as it shimmers in the daylight up ahead. But with so few bridges in these parts, this crossing is an obvious spot for enemies, scouts, and traps. A journey of this importance leaves only 2 options. Tucking the ears and trying to blend in is a risky but efficient. A boat at dusk carries less chance of discovery but requires business with the Molnar, a trading syndicate with their own set of drawbacks. So let's go ahead and flip our card over right here, and our 2 options we have to choose from are: option number 1, tuck your ears and walk like a commoner. Roll a d6 for each gear lock in your party. On any 1 or 2 your party is spotted, find the first tyrant encounter in your deck and place it on top. Shuffle remaining cards and keep them underneath. Encounter success is achieved no matter the outcome. Option number 2, hire the Molnar. The Molnar are surprisingly easy to work with. Not only do they drop us safely on the east bank of the river under the cover of darkness, they also offer a trove loot gift. In quotes, a gift. Maybe our success is good for business. Shuffle special encounter Molnar traders into your encounter deck. Well, normally when I play the game, I would happily take the trove loot because trove loot is nice and awesome and they're very, very powerful. The only problem is I don't want to lose my reinforced buckler or my reflex powder because we see how my dice are going. So I think option number 1 is the most obvious choice for me. Neither one of these is going to lead to a battle. We see this by the symbol right here. So what is going to happen is we're going to take 1 progress point. But first, we must roll to see if the encounter is going to happen. Finally, the dice are in my favor. So we rolled a 4, so that means we're going to gain 1 progress point, which means we are going to be at 3, plus we're going to get another progress point putting us at 4, so we're actually getting really, really close to going out there and attacking Nom. But the more important thing is we are going to gain a skill up. And let's go ahead and look at our skill up potential and see exactly what we want to do. And we want to be able to attack, because we don't want to sit there and be a punching bag for the bad guys or make this take forever in the future. So no bones, and we got no bones. It's a miracle. So let's go ahead and take 1 attack die. Now this moves us to the recovery phase. Now don't forget, we currently have 4 progress points. So I'm going to place the card actually I'll do it just like this so I don't forget. Now there's this cool little add-on that's just kind of for bling effect that you can get, which is another one of these mouse style mats, which is a cool little tracker that uses a little pentastone, allows you to track your progress to getting out towards the bad guy. Unfortunately, I don't have it, so we got to do this old-fashioned way by just watching our total progress points right here. But let's go and do our recovery phase. So for the recovery phase, we are not going to trade in any loot at all. We are not going to do any lock picking. So let us go ahead and figure out which one thing we're going to do. We don't need to heal at all. So let us go ahead and discover what kind of an encounter we are going to have on day number 4. And remember, since we only have 1 gear lock, that means our next encounter is going to have 4 baddies on it. Let's go ahead and figure out what's going to happen for this. Roll a d6. And we will get a 3. So that means we need to look at the top 1 baddie cube point baddie. Let's go ahead and flip it over, and we will reveal... Ooh, this is going to be a fun one. a Troll Brute. Now the Troll Brute, we can look over here on our mat and we can see all the nice abilities of the Troll Brute right here. See, he has 3 hit points. He has initiative 1, super duper slow, 1 attack, 1 defense. The trick about him is he has thick skin. Now thick skin 1 means that he's going to ignore the first point of damage this unit is going to take on his turn. Again, that does not work towards true damage, but the nice thing is anytime he rolls a bones, he'll be careless and he'll decide that his left arm looks really, really tasty and he'll take a nice big old bite out of his left arm. Because trolls, not the smartest guys in the bunch. They're just 1 sandwich short of a complete picnic basket. So that is going to be it for the end of this round. So let's go and start at day number 4, which requires to tick up the day counter. And now we're going to start our adventures with all the surprises, because now the adventure cards come in as a complete surprise on exactly what kind of adventures we are going to encounter. Day number 4, the Sky Bridge. It's a cakewalk. At least that's what I tell myself as I hang on for dear life. 1,000 arrow lengths up in the sky. Unfortunately, this ancient rope bridge connecting the 2 mountain ridges is more ancient than it is bridge. There's an unknown party on my tail and a trading post waiting beyond the ridge ahead. Only seconds remain to make one of 2 ill-advised choices. I could turn and fight in this tangle of rotting rope and wood. Sounds like a wonderful idea for anybody who knows how to fly. The other option, hightail it to the other side while dodging arrows from behind. If I make it, I can cut the ropes and send my pursuers on a one-way trip to the bottom of the canyon with a little bit of Choice number 1, line them up and try not to throw up. The baddie Q will be equal to baddie points, which is 4, because I am on day 4 and I am a solo gear lock right now. I'm going to add 2 baddie points to my total, which is bring up to 6, which means I'm going to have a level 5 baddie and a level 1 baddie. So there's only going to be 2 baddies. What could go wrong? This battle is restricted to lane 1 for both sides, and you fight only 1 baddie at a time. Remaining baddies wait in the baddie queue. Actually, that's not that bad. Next up is scramble across and cut the bridge. This is a non-battle encounter. The baddie queue equals baddie points. The reason why I'm going to do that is because they're going to shoot arrows at me. And the way that's going to work is we're going to reveal baddies. For every ranged baddie that is going to be in this specific baddie queue, I'm going to roll 2 attack dice and remove hit points from my gear lock. I must survive for the encounter to be a success. Either way, I'm going to gain 2 nice skill ups, 1 progress point if I succeed, if I choose the easier method, or if I go for the fight, I'm going to get a treasure. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to burn that reflex powder on this entire fight, so getting a treasure actually sounds pretty good. So let's go ahead and choose option number 1, line them up and try not to throw up. What could go wrong? No, seriously, what could go wrong besides everything? So the very first thing is the top of the baddie queue is going to be a 5. And then underneath them is going to be the 1. I'll stick the 1 right here just to signify the order of my baddie queue. And this will be the very first thing we're going to fight. Now it's going to be a row number 1 because of the encounter card we have. I'll just stick this right here so you can continue to look at it and see what I'm talking about. And let's go ahead and flip this over, and our encounter will be with a kobold fanatic. Hardy and Inspire number 1. Hardy is the fun one. Any turn this unit takes damage to his hit points, including true damage, the total is reduced to 1. Now this is any turn, not round. That's the big important thing, which is cool. But the nasty thing about him is Inspire 1. This could be really nasty because it says the next baddie on the initiative meter takes their turn immediately after him. Thanks to the encounter card, he's going to be the only one on the initiative meter, so this actually is not as bad as it could be. So while this started off looking pretty brutal, it's actually not going to be quite too terrible. And since he has initiative 3, no matter how badly I roll, I can pretty much go before him if I really, really, truly hope to do so. And I really, really do truly hope to go before him. He's going to start with 6 hit points, which is going to be nice and fun, which means that it's going to take 6 rounds to take him out. Unless I get poisoned. I need to poison him as quick as possible. He's going to be a melee enemy. Let us go ahead and roll and figure out just how good our initiative is going to be. Can't be worse than him. It'll be a 3. I am definitely deciding that I want to go first. Because if I can poison him, my life will be wonderful. We're going to add ourselves onto the baddie mat right there. And I think we are ready to start the very first round of the battle with round 1. So now we need to figure out which dice we want to roll, and I know this is going to be a really, really long drawn-out fight if I don't get this guy poisoned, at least with good poison, as quick as possible. So I know the very first point of dexterity I'm going to spend is for poison. I still have 2 more points of dexterity since I am not moving. Of course, I get my free buckler, which is going to be nice. So I'll take 1 attack. Hopefully I'll be able to hit him as my second point of dexterity. And as my third point of dexterity, I will roll defense. So I'm going to get a total of 4 dice. And Patches, do your worst or your best. Do your best. Worst is bad. Well, that's about as close as we get to worst. Couldn't have done much worse because he's going to roll 3 attack dice. Oh, come on. Okay, we're going to do 1 point of damage to him. That's all we could have done to him anyways, because he is hardy, but at least we will get a level 2 poison put onto him, which could have been worse, but it could have been a lot better. So that is going to be it for our turn. And now the Kobold Fanatic gets to say, oh, no, 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 no. This is how we do it. So the very first thing the Kobold Fanatic is going to do is it is going to take poison damage. So first things first, we're going to take only 1 point of damage. Normally poison would do 2 points of damage, but darn, that Hardy is making our life as difficult as possible. But hey, at least it's going to help just a little bit. Now we get to do just a little bit of pain as he gets to roll 3 attack dice. And let's survive. We'll get, wow, 4 points of damage. Survival is looking kind of painful. So we did 4 points of damage to ourselves, so we'll lose 1 defense, which will take care of this, which means we're going to take 3 points of damage. 1, 2, 3 points of damage. And that will be the end of round number 1. Let us go to round number 2 and see if we can make the dice work a little bit more in our favor. Just a little bit. Don't think I'm asking for too much when I'm asking for just a little bit of favor. So we have 3 decks, so we're going to get 1 defense from our decks. We'll get that from the buckler. We'll get 1 attack die. We still have 1 point of dex left over. Why don't we use our nutrients? I'm really hoping the nutrients is going to be in our favor here. Hopefully what's going to happen is the nutrients is going to allow me to get the result I want, which is going to allow me to get one of my consumables because I really want the poison dart. Let us hope beyond hope we're going to get the poison dart. And we will roll and we will get not what we wanted at all. I'm definitely not using that die. I definitely have no choice but to use that bones right there. And I have 2 attack and I have 1 defense. Well, the 2 attack is only going to do 1 point of damage to him. Could have been better. Could have been a lot worse. And then I'm going to spend all of this to heal. But before we do that, I need to remember that we heal 1 hit point at the start of every single round because that is a special ability. And then we're going to burn these 2 bones to go ahead and heal 1 more hit point. And since this rolled 2 bones, I'm definitely not taking 2 bones because that is not going to help us at all. Although that could have got us to Fortunate Discovery. Could have got us to Fortunate Discovery, which would have actually kind of allowed us to take the poison dart. Well, but we didn't get to heal then, which is what I really need to do because pain is about to occur for our little Gearlock right here. So 3 attack dice. Again, first thing that happens is he's going to take 1 point of damage. And then the poison is going to disappear. And then he's going to go ahead and beat on us a little bit. And this situation looks really, really familiar from before. 1 defense takes care of that. We'll take 3 points damage. And we'll have 2 hit points left. This is starting to look really darn familiar. Round number 3. Starting with Patches. First thing Patches is going to do is going to heal 1 hit point. We really cannot take another beating like this. That'll be like that. This will be 1 point of dex, 2 points of dex, 3 points of dex. Come on, Patches. Prove that you are the mighty healer. Well, not terrible. So we have 3 defense. Let's go and lock in those 3 defense because this might actually keep us alive. We'll do 1 point of damage to him, which is all we can do anyways. And then we got 2 bones again. Could use it to heal, but I have a heal die. I really don't want to heal out of this die. I wanted to do something good. So now the evil Kobold Fanatic gets to take its turn, and for its turn it gets to roll 3 attack dice again. 3 attack dice. Hey, at least we didn't do horrible amounts of damage to us. We only rolled 3 points of damage. That will go ahead and knock out all of our defense right there. Not too terrible. Round number 4. At least we are going to defeat this guy at the start of the round. So start of the round, the first thing that's going to happen for patches is we will heal 1 point of damage. We'll take 1 from the buckler, 1 from our dex, 2 from our dex, 3 from our dexterity, and now let's see if we can make the dice actually work in our favor for once today. Well, well, well. I could heal 3. I'm only down 2 hit points though. And I'm going to have 3 defense. So again, I don't think I'm actually going to use this heal 3 die. I mean, that could be nice, but I think that's dumb. We'll do 1 point of damage. He'll be defeated, and he will go ahead and go to the dead pile right there. We'll get 3 defense for ourselves right there. He will not get to go. This will be removed right there. So now we get to go to the end of round events, and during the end of the round, we get the new baddie who's going to be added to the baddie queue. He is going to be a melee baddie. He is going to take this queue right there, and since he's only a 1 point baddie, that means he will go down right there to the bottom in the initiative order. He will start with 3 hit points, and we'll stick him right there. And now we got to move into round number 5. Start of the round. First thing that's going to happen is we are going to heal for 1 hit point. Next thing that is going to happen is, well, can we roll for a buckler? Yes, no, we cannot roll for a buckler because we only have 1 defense. I think we're actually a-okay. So we have 1 attack die, we have 1 defense die, and, no, sorry, not 1 defense die, 1 attack die. Well, actually, I could roll the defense die and replace it. No, I can't replace it. I have to actually remove it, which means I have to risk it. Let's do this. And then our healing die, I think I'm going to do our healing die. Why not? Because we're going to start taking true damage. I want to get the full life before the true damage happens. Let us do something good. We'll get a 2. We'll heal for 2. And then, so this result right here allows us to do 2 points of damage. So that'll be the first thing we will do, which is nice. Now this allows us to lock this die, allows us to reroll our heal die up to twice. It basically becomes a counter in our lock section, which means we can carry it from battle to battle. But again, I want that symbol right there, which is what I'm not getting. So I'm just simply going to take the 2 hit point heal right now because I think that's a better decision. That'll put us back up at full life. Might as well burn this die right now. Let's go ahead and add this back onto our mat right here because it didn't give us what we wanted. And now this horrible, horrible creature gets to activate, do one last thing before it dies at the start of the next round when we have true damage occurring. So it's going to roll an attack die and a defense for this horrible, nasty troll brute. And it'd be even funnier if he just careless hits himself. Then we don't have to worry about anything. Perfect. That's just absolutely perfect. So the way this is going to work is he would gain 2 defense and then he'd do 1 point of true damage to himself, which means he's going to be defeated before round 6. So we're going to end this battle at full life because he's going to take that last point of true damage. He will be defeated. I'll put that back over here and we will add him to the queue of the dead baddies right over here for all the dead baddies. Go ahead and put the initiative counter right back there. Let's clean this up just a little bit so it looks nice and neat. We'll remove this. We'll take our initiative die back. We will return our gear lock to our mat. We'll put our dice back on their lock slots because we'll have them available. Active dice are going to be removed. We will go back to round number 1, so we are ready for this. Now we just get to go over to the recovery phase. But first, before the recovery phase, we gain our rewards for surviving this encounter right here. So the very first thing we're going to do, since we did line them up, is we get to get a treasure. So let's go ahead and get rid of the reflex powder because we cannot keep it on the treasure pile. So let's go and put that right there. Let's go ahead and draw our treasure, and we will gain the gadget arm. If a training attempt fails, you may make another attempt. 2 uses. Design requires the removal of your right arm. Terrible. The left arm will be much, much more sensible, at least according to Tink. I think the removal of any arm is actually a really bad idea, but Gearlock's are kind of weird. And he's kind of equipped to remove his own arm. Kind of creepy. Kind of giving me that Hellraiser vibe all over again. But hey, it works out perfectly because it's Halloween time. So we have gained our treasure. Let's go ahead and gain our 2 skill ups. And I think for our skill ups, first thing we are going to do for our skill ups, since health has been kind of a concern for us, let's go ahead and gain a point of health. That's going to put us at 7 hit points. And I will gladly take that 7 hit points right here, right now. Our defense is okay. I would like to gain 1 more point of defense, kind of, but the buckler is keeping us a-okay on that. So now, do I take fast hands because we want to get to bone saw, or do I go for dexterity? Now, right now with our dexterity, we're only rolling 3 dice. It's kind of okay at this point because that's kind of how we're rolling things right now. I'm thinking we want to get the bone saw as quick as possible. So let's go ahead and take fast hands as our 2nd level up. I think that's going to be the best decision for us right now. I kind of am thinking dexterity would be the better choice here, but hindsight is 20/20. So let's go ahead and add this onto our baddie queue. And now we can count up our total amount of progress points. We say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 more progress point and we can take out, or at least try to take out Nom and make this adventure come to an end. But let's go ahead and do our recovery phase here really, really quick. And then for our recovery phase, the first thing that we can do is we can trade in any loot that we want between our Gearlocks. We're playing solo games. We don't get to do that, so we may make a lockpicking attempt. Don't want to do that. So now we go to the choice. We do the rest. We can search for better loot, or we can scout. We are at full life. I think we need to scout what's going to happen. So let's go into scout to find out what kind of encounters we will have on day number 5 in Daelore. I'll roll a 1. So with that 1, that does mean I get to look at one of the bones baddies on the level 1 on the baddie queue. Let's go ahead and reveal that. And that will be a direwolf pup. Lashback 1 is kind of a pain in the neck, but lashback only hurts you if you are adjacent, unless it's defeated. So what I could do before I actually attacked it is, if I happen to have 3 bones in my backup plan, I could actually at least 1 point of damage and possibly defeat it. Or maybe I just get really lucky and roll 4 attack dice, or even roll 3 attacks, because I do have 2 attack dice now. I don't think Direwolf Pup is that bad. I'm actually a-okay with Direwolf Pup. So let's go ahead and put him on the top of the queue right there. And that does end day number 4. So let's go ahead and start day number 5 and find out what kind of encounter we are going to have on day number 5. So since we have 5 progress points, we can't go after Nom yet, so we have to take an encounter card. And we are going to gain the encounter card, a dire situation. My desire to sleep is clashing with my fear of being eaten by wolves. Well, prophetic, because we know there's a wolf coming. Kind of interesting. These torches only burn for so long. Must stay awake. Oh! Jolted from my involuntary slumber, my sleeping gear becomes a tornado of chaos as I scramble from under my blanket. A few dying embers flicker weakly in the expiring fire, giving it just enough light to see nothing at all. I look up to find some moonlight through the trees, but my view of the night sky is suddenly eclipsed by the evil glow of 2 huge yellow eyes. As I slowly stand, my stomach turns as I realize I'm still only half the beast size at best. Well, those are some big wolf pups. It is a dire wolf, but hey, what the heck. I desperately fumble through my belt for a weapon that's not there, and this dire wolf looks hungry. Option number 1, I must find my weapons. Baddie Q is 1 point and 1 5-point wolf. That's miraculously perfect in a story standpoint. That couldn't have been any more perfect. That's actually kind of fun. It's kind of cool. I cannot use skill dice until after the first 2 rounds of battle. Ooh, that can be exciting. Or I must find my pack. Baddie Q is 1 point and 5 point wolf. Can only use skill dice the first 2 rounds of battle. Well, I think I am going to burn all my skill dice in the beginning because that just seems like the right thing to do. So we're going to choose choice number 2. I can only use skill dice the first 2 rounds of battle. Nutrients die, do not fail me or I will hunt you down and threaten a piece of plastic, which really does nothing for me. Actually, I think the smarter thing to do is take the first choice. Cannot use skill dice until after the first 2 rounds of battle. I think that's actually a smarter thing to do because I know those dice are going to betray me. They always betray me. Dice betray me every single time. So we are going to search this stack right here and we are going to try to find a 5 point wolf. So turn them over until we find them. That was super easy. This is almost kind of cool. As somebody who plays RPGs from a story standpoint, this is awesome. So we have our 5 point baddie, we have our 1 point baddie. Remember, we are on day number 5. So our baddie Q is a 1 point and a 5 point wolf. I don't need to do anything special. It is literally just what I drew right here. So he is a 5 point baddie. He is going to take lane number 1. He is a 1 point baddie, so that means he's going to take lane number 2. Let's go and get their initiative and their hit points set up, and we'll go in and get this battle nice and started. So he does have 6 hit points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And an initiative of 4, which means we're going to have a heck of a time going first here. Most likely he's going to go first. I sense lots of lashback coming. Lashback number 1 is going to gain 3 hit points. Both of these are melee monsters, so initiative value is going to be a 3. So at least I can guarantee I'm not going to go last, but I can't guarantee I'm going to go first. Let's hope beyond hope I get to go first. Yes, we will gladly, very happily, go first. Now let's go and add our gear lock onto the battle mat. And I am thinking, since I chose cannot roll skill dice after or until after the first 2 rounds of combat. So let's go right here. And in my hope of hopes, I am really hoping I can take out that dire wolf pup as quick as possible. Get a little bit of defense and survive this horrible monster coming in here and attacking me with 4 attack dice. Let's hope. So before we start everything here on day number 5, I just completely forgot something about Patches that I just completely feel like a dummy for forgetting. When Patches got his level up, not only did he get the ability to heal other gear locks, he also gained 1 permanent point of health, and I completely forgot to do that. So this is going to be a little bit of a, haha, sorry everybody, I do apologize, I completely made a mistake. The good news is this means that we have a higher chance of surviving because we now have 8 hit points, which means that the dire wolf can only possibly one-shot me. Possibly one-shot me, but hey, at least we get to start the fun now. So now that I fixed that minor bit of forgetfulness on my part, let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do because we have 3 decks worth of dice, but we cannot spend any of our skill dice until round number 3. So let's go and get things started. This is going to come from our buckler. This will be 1 of our skill dice for a 1 defense. This will be our other 2 points of dex for a total of 3 decks. Our target is a dire wolf pup. I'm really, really hoping I can take him out with 1 hit. If I take him out with 1 hit, things are going to be really, really good for me. Let's do this. Or, you know, let's not. So we get a bone. We will get a defense, which is about to be destroyed here very, very quickly when he lashes back. So I'm going to do 2 points of damage. 1, 2 points of damage. And then he is going to lash back, taking out my defense that I managed to gain here. And that is going to end my turn very, very quickly. Let's go ahead and activate the dire wolf itself, who will move 1 space, and then it gets to attack me with 4 dice. Yeah, 5 points of damage. That is just brutal. 2, 4, and 5 points of damage. Well, I guess I can say youch one more time and say dog's bad. Now the dire wolf pup gets to go, and he is going to roll 1 attack die, and hey, we got a bone. That actually worked out in our favor. Life is all of a sudden looking much, much better for us, and looks like we're not totally in trouble quite yet. So to start a round number 2, let's go and activate. The very first thing we are going to do is we'll take our 1 defense die from Reinforced Buckler. We'll stick a 1 point of free healing that we get, and then we're going to roll 2 attack dice. We will roll 1 defense die, and our target is going to be that dire wolf pup, but we need to kill him in 1 hit, which is possible. I would love, hope beyond hopes is if this was a bone, this was an attack, and both these were 2s, I would be very, very happy right now, which means I'm not going to get anything resembling that at all. Let's go for it, and we will get, not too bad, 2, that's actually what I needed the first round, 3 points of defense, or 3 shield damage, 1 point of damage to him. Now the nice thing about the way the lashback ability works is lashback only works as if the creature survives the attack. He did not survive the attack, so I easily take him out, and he's going to be removed from the baddie queue and the initiative. But that does mean that Mommy Wolf is going to be very, very angry at me for what I just did, and now gets to hit me with 4 attack dice. Let's see if I can survive this. Well, sometimes the dice are just in your favor. So we will take 2 points of damage. Luckily, that gets rid of this shield right there, which means we take no damage, and we are going to be very, very happy, because now we get to start round number 3, and we can actually use our dice now. Life just got a heck of a lot better for us. I think we're going to roll a buckler. We're going to roll a defense from dexterity, and we still have 2 points of dexterity left. I will take this, and I will take that, because what I'm really, really hoping for is for this result right here. Yes, I'm basically hoping for 1 out of 6 on the results for the dice. Actually, I just cheated. I'm going to re-roll this because I just cheated. I should not have rolled one of those defense dice. I am an absolute dirty cheater. I got a little bit excited. I cannot re-roll all those defense dice because this is either affiliated with the buckler or it's affiliated with my defense. I apologize. I'm a horrible cheating human being because I got really, really excited. So I really can only roll these 2 plus this one. I'm going to use this for my buckler, which gives me 1 point of dex left to do something with. I think I'm going to use the med kit for that, because I am down 4 hit points right now. Sorry, going to re-roll because I was cheating, and that would not have been a legitimate use of the abilities. I finally got my skill up. Okay, so I have 1 defense. I'm happy. We're going to heal for 2. I will gladly take that 2 points of healing. We finally got what we wanted, and we will poison him. So now, since we did not attack him, because lashback says if they're damaged by you, he's not damaged, he's poisoned by me. So that means he is not going to lash back, and he's going to get 2 poison counters on him. I am totally happy with that. Did I take my point of healing at the start of my round? I don't think I took my start round point of healing, did I? I didn't, because I forgot. Actually, let me think. So I did not take my heal up. I know this because I'm looking at the numbers here. So I did not take my heal at the start of the round, so I'll do that. I'll go ahead and gain my loot, which is going to be a draw from the loot card, and I'm really hoping this is going to be a consumable that allows me to fill up with one of my consumable dice. So I'm definitely going to burn that one right now also. Let's go ahead and reveal this, and we'll get a tattered map. Yeah, I didn't want that. I was really hoping for something better. At the start of a new day, draw an additional encounter card. Choose one and place the other at the bottom of the encounter deck. Well, that's definitely not what I wanted. Why are you so mean to me, game? You're so mean to me today. Okay, well, that is it for us. At least we're in a position where we're not going to get totally bitten in half. I mean, may lose a leg here, but we won't be bitten in half. So the first thing that's going to happen is this is going to do 2 points of damage to mean old nasty little wolf, and then it will tick down to number 1. And then let us roll our 4 attack dice and see if we can bite off Patch's leg. So we roll 3 and a bone, so 3 is going to take care of these 2, and we will take 1 point of damage, and we just lost a toe. But we can put it back on because we're a doctor. We can do these kind of things. Round number 4. Let's do this smart. I need to do something smart. So we're going to start round 4 right here, and I know I can attack him, roll 2 attack dice, and take 2 points damage, which I know I can survive because I'm going to heal 1 at the start of my round. Poison's going to go for another round, so it is possible that if I rolled really, really well, I can defeat him. Here is the trick of what I'm thinking about right now. I'm thinking I actually want to extend the fight a little bit, because if I can get to a fortunate discovery, I can get my poison dart. If I get my poison dart, we're going to go ahead and attack Nom next round, because I think we're ready for it. The trick is I need my poison dart. Well, I don't need my poison dart, but the way I've been built so far, it's actually going to be almost impossible for me to defeat Nom unless I get a poison off on him. 1 poison off, a roll of a 3, which could happen, but it's not looking very likely. Which means it's going to become a battle of attrition between us, which is going to be a long, boring, drawn-out fight, which is not going to be exciting. So I'm future planning, future plotting. I know I want to lock this die before I go to the next round versus Nom, because that will help me. So knowing all this stuff, this is a long-winded way to say, well, let's go ahead and start round number 4. I am going to roll 2 attack dice, which is 2 of my 3 points of dex. I have this for free for my reinforced buckler. Let's make sure I take my heal before I forget, because that would be a bad thing. So I'm thinking, get this, or do I do the 1 more point of defense so I don't get my leg chewed on so badly? No, I'm not going to do this quite yet. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the point of defense. I think because we're going to go around 5. Yeah, this will work out best. So this is 3 decks. Let's go ahead and hope, because I'm really, really hoping for a fortune discovery. So in a way, I'm almost hoping that these miss, and these, hoping these are bones, and these are shields. Let's hope. Nowhere near what I wanted. So what is going to happen here is we would gain 2 shields, and we'll do 2 points of damage. So we'll do 2 points of damage. Not too terrible, and this actually might work out a-okay. So then he is going to lash back 2 on me, which is going to kill those 2 points of shield right there. And that will end my turn. So now the wolf is going to go, at the start of his turn, he's going to take 1 point of damage from that last poison, which is going to end the poison counter on, meaning he only has 1 hit point left. Meaning I'll be able to defeat him next round as long as I survive. And now he gets to hit me. And hopefully I'm not going to lose a toe or a leg or an arm in the process here. Well, I didn't lose a toe or an arm or a leg. So we take 3 points of damage. 1, 2, 3 points of damage right there. Not terrible. And then this will start round number 5. Now again, like I said, on top of round number 5, I know what I want to do. I want to get this die rolled. I don't need to worry about defense, but I want bones. I need to do at least 1 point of damage. So there's 2 of my decks. There's my 3rd dex. Is that what I'm thinking? Because I don't need defense. There's just more bones on the defense die. I mean, there's always the chance that I could miss if I did this. Well, shucks. I think we're just going to do it like this. Because if I can lock this in for next round, I can make sure that Nom is not going to be too much of a pain in the neck for me. I'm going to hedge my bets. Let's go for it. Round 5. Heal 1 point before I forget, because I keep forgetting at this fight. I don't know why. Okay, so we have 3 bones. I didn't quite get the bones I wanted, but this will lock being a 3 times multiplier for the next fight, because locked dice get to stay, We'll do 1 point of damage. Anytime something is defeated, its lashback effect will not activate. So it will be removed. This fight is over. Before the fight is going to end, I guess I could technically spend the 1 point to heal for my backup plan. Might as well. It ain't going to make that big of a difference. That'll end this. This will come back here. This will go back here. This will go back there, just like that. Our gear lock returned to our mat, and then let's go ahead and reset the battle round back to round number 1, and let's go ahead and gain our rewards. Let's look at our rewards that are possible from our card. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to gain 2 skill ups, and then we are going to gain a random loot. So let's go ahead and do our skill ups first. The first thing I think we're going to do is, I think, dexterity. Let's go ahead and take dexterity. But before we're going to do that, I'm also thinking defense would be good. But I want bone saw. The reason why I want bone saw, if we go against Nom, let me look at the back of his encounter. Let's go ahead and go over this really, really quickly. So when it comes to Nom encounter, what's going to happen is it's going to be Nom is going to be added to the baddie queue, but the baddie queue is only going to be Nom himself if it's a solo game. Because if we're only fighting this, it's only going to be Nom. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have enough progress points to actually attack Nom in the next fight. So basically I'm trying to set it for Nom right now. I'm thinking we're just going to go for Nom and let's go and have fun and go ahead and take Nom out at the top of day number 6. So attacking Nom is not going to be really too much of an option for us, because if you look at Nom, you see that Nom has the ability to thick skin 3 and recover 1, which basically means I have to do at least 4 points of damage to him every single round to hurt him. My nice bone saw does have the potential to do 3 points of damage. I could roll 2 attack dice, which could be a really good roll, a total of 7 points of damage. So I can hurt Nom if I take the bone saw. If I don't take bone saw, I can't hurt him at all. So I need to make my choice right here. So I'm thinking my first skill up is going to be bone saw. And that does happen because fast hands technically goes right here. So I am following the tree just fine. So that's going to be my first skill up. My next skill up I'm thinking is going to be dex, because I want to be rolling more of my dice. Because I'm going to get 1 defense, would be one of my dex. That's going to leave me 2 more dice to roll. Be like bone saw and nothing. So I'm thinking of dex. So my second skill up is going to be dexterity. That is both of my skill ups right there. Now I get to go ahead and grab a loot, and we're going to, yes, fortune discovery. Okay, we accept one of our consumable skill dice and place it in a spot. So before I do anything, since it's not an instance, I have to pick one of these to keep. Oh gee, I think I'm going to keep the fortune discovery. We're going to get rid of this right now, and that is going to allow us to claim our poison dart consumable. Let's put it on number 3 just so it feels really super duper lucky. So now that we have that, now let's go to recovery phase. We have enough progress points. Nom, 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 nom is going to be our next target next round. So let's go and do our recovery phase. So the first thing that's going to happen for the recovery phase is we need to go ahead and decide if we're going to do any of our, well, I don't have anything lockpick, so I don't need to worry about it. So I just need to make the choice between the healing, the scouting, or the searching. I'm not going to search for better loot because this is my loot. So I'm thinking it's going to be a heal. I don't need to worry about scouting because I already know what's going to happen. It's going to be Nom, Nom, and Nom, 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 Nom himself. So that's it. We're done with round 5. Let's go ahead and start the next round, and that's going to be day number 6. We have enough progress points. Day number 6. We have enough progress points to go ahead and attack Nom because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take 6 to go after him. Let us go ahead and fight the Nom himself. It's going to be our joy and our fun and our decision for this round. So let's go ahead and look at this. Clubbing with Nom, not in the dance club kind of variety where you got the nice, great music playing and the disco floor or the dance floor, whatever you got. So the baddie queue is going to be baddie points. Party of 1, we get to ignore this, so we just basically get to add Nom to the bottom of the baddie queue. So he's going to be on the bottom of a baddie queue that contains him and him only. The fun thing about Nom is he does get his Tyrant die, which is either going to be a Thunder Club, which is going to bat us all around the board and cause us to take 1 point of true damage, or we get his wonderful ability that's very, very annoying, which is going to burn through all of our defense dice. because it says nom. All defense dice are removed from the target before applying damage. Extra fun. Nom has 6 hit points, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 hit points. Nom is a melee baddie, and he also has the ability to move diagonal. We see that. We look on the camera right here, we see that this symbol right here does mean that he has the ability to move diagonally. So basically this means that since Nom has the ability to maneuver around the board and move diagonally, that means we're not going to be able to run away from him too much. So it's going to be a drop down, knockdown fight where we're trying to get past his thick skin of 3 and his ability to heal every single round with his recovery of 1. So we need to take him out. But only one gearlock on battle mat at a time. Gearlocks will decide who enters first, second, etc. When a gearlock is KO'd, the next gearlock will assume starting position on the battle mat and top spot on the indie meter after the end of the round. Again, thick skin 3, recovery 1. Those are going to be the fun parts of Nom, plus that nasty little tyrant die. So the only good thing about Nom is his initiative is only a 2, which means it doesn't matter how horribly I roll initiative, we're still going to get to go first. I'll roll a 4. Round number 1, we will start at the top of the baddie queue round, and let's just go ahead and start right here, face to face, toe to toe, staring his ugly troll face down with our wonderful gearlock light blue eyes, looking into his face. Let's take him out. So let's go and start this fight with round number 1, and let's go ahead and see what we're going to do. We have 4 decks. And of course, we have 1 die from our reinforced buckler, which is always a super duper nice start. I think we're going to start with our poison dart as 1 of our decks. Let's go and do our bone saw as 2 of our decks. And then let's go ahead and roll 3 attack dice. And let's see if we can just really hammer Nom before he even gets a chance to start the ball rolling against us. Come on, dicing off, favor. What part of dice in our favor did you fail to understand? Okay, so I guess we'll go bone, bone, bone. Not even going to bother. But hey, at least we got 2 points of poison, so it's not like it's a total loss, is it? Not a total loss, just kind of a little bit of loss, but definitely not total loss. That's a level 2 poison on Nom. And then he can start healing and putting up all his armor and all their magical stuff. Darn it. Okay. Well, that wasn't a great start. But it wasn't terrible. Nom's turn. So the first thing Nom is going to do is he's going to use his recover. Once his recover is done, then the poison is going to go ahead and tick off 2 points of life for him. 2 points of life. Let's go ahead and tick that poison down to level 1. And then he's going to roll his tyrant die, 1 attack die, 1 defense die. Come on, horrible rolls. Those would not be horrible rolls at all. Apparently these dice are just not listening to me today. So we got Nom. All defense dice are removed from target before rolling damage. Well, I'm glad I didn't roll any defense dice because I would not get to use them anyways. We have 2 damage to us and a bone. So the bone is going to do nothing. The 2 points of damage is definitely going to hit us for 2 points of damage. And that will be the end of round number 1. So let's go ahead and advance this to round number 2, and we will start with our gearlock right here. So let's figure out what we want to do. I'm thinking we're going to do basically what we did last turn, but I got needle jab right now. Needle jab is going to be very, very nice because I believe needle jab is a whole 2 points damage if I remember correctly. Stick target for 2 damage. He has no defense. We could do some good things here. So 2 attack dice, bone saw, this. Oops, let's not forget our heal at the start of a round, which I have been forgetting almost every single battle today. I don't know why. I just keep forgetting. I think it's because I'm so distracted, because I want to win so badly. So I have 1 more point of dexterity. I think we're going to roll a defense die. Well, he just has true damage. That's not worth it. I could go for, well, if I get a fortunate discovery, that actually would not be terrible, but I'm going for needle jab. Only down 1 hit point. I'm only down 1 hit point. Let's not panic. Okay, let's not panic. It's just fine. It's perfectly fine. This is good. We got this. We're happy. We're feeling the Zen moment. Let's just feel the Zen. That's not bad. That is actually not bad at all. We could actually work with this very, very well. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage. Minus his 3 thick skin is going to be 2 more points of damage to Nom. I will gladly accept that right there. That'll go ahead and use up our bone saw, and these dice will be moved over just like this. I think, should I use the Fortune Discovery, or actually, why don't we just win the game right here? He doesn't get his thick skin anymore because we already did enough damage. So let's go ahead and go 1, 2, 3 points of damage, and let's needle jab him. That'll be 2 more points of damage. 1, 2. Nom is nom 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 defeated, and we have slayed this horrible evil tyrant. As Patches slowly moves into the cave to explore because he heard a grand rumor that a hydromech was in here trying to defeat the evil tyrant and was defeated, he searches through all the wreckage and he finds the remains of a hydromech on the ground and decides he must bring it back to the capital city and try to repair it for the next adventure in Too Many Bones.